Video 4, Myths and Facts.
Personal violence happens on university campuses all over Canada. It also happens off campuses, and it can have a powerfully negative impact on those who experience it. So why does this kind of violence happen? University campuses are a part of a larger culture, and many scholars warn of a culture where sexual assault is more likely to happen, where widespread attitudes, norms, and behaviors excuse, minimize, and even encourage sexual violence. This environment creates stereotypical beliefs about women, men, sexuality, and power that can lead to a whole range of negative consequences. These stereotypes are reinforced through images, ideas, and conversations we are exposed to every day. Without careful thought, we may simply accept them as a way of life. One of the most important things we can do to protect ourselves against this kind of violence is to clearly distinguish the myth from the facts.
Myth. People lie about sexual assault. Fact. The vast majority of sexual assault reports are true. Not believing a survivor is emotionally damaging, and it lets others know that they won't be believed if they come forward. Myth.
Only strangers commit sexual assault.
Fact.
Strangers' assault represent less than 18% of sexual assault. The overwhelming majority of sexual assault occur in familiar places and with people we trust.
Myth. Perpetrators cannot help themselves. Fact. We are all conscious of and able to control our own actions. When we say perpetrators can't help themselves, we excuse their actions and place the blame on the survivor. Myth. Provocative clothing is a risk factor. Fact. Whether you're wearing a short skirt or snow pants, the only risk factor is the presence of a perpetrator. Whatever the reason behind a person's clothing choice of wardrobe, no one dresses to encourage an attack.
Myth. Real sexual assault is always physically violent. Fact. The overwhelming majority of assaults, 82%, are committed by acquaintances, friends, or family members who use coercion to assault. Coercion, pressuring, intimidating can be just as forceful and disempowering as physical violence.
Myth.
Sexual assault can be an accident.
Fact.
Sexual assault is never an accident. The perpetrator claiming that they received mixed messages and didn't know the person was not consenting is not valid. When someone wants to stop and the other person wants to continue, the burden is entirely on the person who wants to continue.
Myth.
Sexual harassment is flattering.
Fact.
Wolf whistling, catcalling, or honking is not flattering. It's gender bullying. Sexual harassment involves one-directional communication that occurs without the consent of an individual.
Myth.
Men cannot be sexually assaulted.
Fact.
60% of males in secondary schools are sexually harassed, and 1 in 10 men are sexually assaulted. Sexual violence can be experienced by any person of any gender.
Much of what we accept as inevitable is, in fact, the expression of values and attitudes that can change. We can change them. We have the power. Working together, we can create a campus and a society in which sexual violence of any kind is a thing of the past.
Let's go back to that first myth. Some of you may have heard statements about how women sometimes make false sexual assault reports, and that men should be scared of being falsely accused. Don't buy into that myth. Recent studies show that very few reports of sexual assault are false.
It's time to stop perpetuating the myth that no means yes, or no response means it's okay to have sex. And it's time to stop asking questions about what people are wearing, or drinking, or doing when they were victimized. Victim blaming hurts everyone.